The storm had rolled in fast that evening, the kind of prairie storm that didn't ask permission before swallowing the sky and turning the land into a trembling hush. Rancher Cole Hartley was finishing his last check of the barns when he noticed the horses restless, their ears pinned, their bodies turned towards something he couldn't see. Cole lifted his lantern higher, sweeping its warm glow through the dim barn, expecting maybe a coyote or a fallen beam. Instead, he froze. Right there on the straw, curled up like a trembling fawn, sat a tiny girl no older than 3. Her curls were wet with rain, her red dress clinging to her small frame, her bare feet muddy and cold. The moment Cole stepped closer, she looked up, those wide tear-glazed eyes glowing in the lantern's light, full of fear but also desperate hope. "Hey there, sweetheart," he whispered gently, lowering himself to her height so he didn't scare her. "Are you lost? Where's your family?" The little girl blinked, her lower lip trembling as she clasped her tiny hands tightly together, almost as though she were praying. And then, barely louder than the rain hitting the tin roof, she whispered, "Mama's dying, outside." Cole's heart dropped. In one breath, the entire night changed. He scooped her into his warm coat and sprinted out into the storm, following the direction from which her tiny footprints had come. Lightning cracked across the sky, illuminating the silhouette of a collapsed figure near the fence line. Cole rushed over and found a woman, young, pale, barely conscious, lying face down in the mud, her breathing shallow, her body shaking uncontrollably from cold. "Ma'am, can you hear me?" Cole asked, rolling her gently into his arms. She flinched, then weakly tried to speak. My baby," she whispered before passing out again. Cole knew he had seconds, not minutes. The temperature was dropping fast, the storm was turning dangerous. With one arm holding the unconscious mother and the other shielding the little girl wrapped in his coat, he fought his way back through the wind toward the barn, kicking the door shut behind him. He laid the mother in the hay, near the horses so their body heat could help warm the space. He rubbed her hands, her arms, anything to get warmth back into her skin. The little girl sat beside her, still shaking, whispering over and over, "Mama, don't go. Mama, wake up." Cole grabbed blankets, water, and whatever medical supplies he had. As he worked, the little girl kept glancing at him, her eyes pleading for a miracle. He didn't know who these two were or where they'd come from, but he knew one thing with absolute certainty: he was not letting that woman die tonight. When her breathing worsened, Cole lifted her again, carried her inside his house through the storm, laid her on the couch by the fire, and tended to her wounds. It was clear she'd been walking for miles, maybe running from something, maybe seeking help. Hours passed as Cole cleaned her cuts, warmed her body, and kept the child close. At last, sometime near dawn, the woman stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, and she whispered, where am I?" "Safe," Cole said softly. "You and your little girl are safe." Tears spilled down her face. "Thank God. Thank you. We didn't know where to go." Cole didn't push for answers. He simply offered her water, comfort, warmth, and the reassurance she clearly hadn't felt in a long time. The little girl crawled back into her mother's arms, clinging to her like she'd almost lost the world. As the first light of morning broke across the ranch, the storm outside finally quieted, leaving the land washed clean but the hearts inside the house forever changed. Cole sat across from them, watching mother and child hold each other, and he realized that sometimes God, or fate, or life, put people exactly where they needed to be, at the exact moment they needed saving. And sometimes, the one who offered the saving ended up being saved too, in ways they didn't yet understand. Whatever their story was, whatever they were running from, Cole knew one thing: they weren't alone anymore. And neither was he. Their arrival had turned his quiet ranch into something warmer, something purposeful, something alive again. And with the rising sun, he felt a promise in the air, a promise that this night, this storm, this unexpected meeting, would change all of their lives forever. If you enjoyed this story and want more emotional, powerful tales just like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps these stories coming.